If you're looking for a comprehensive project and business management tool that can do everything from invoices, proposals, task management, cost tracking, and tasks, of course, well, you're in luck. Plutio might be right up your alley because it does all of that and more. It is in active development, and the creator, Leo, is a really awesome guy. The Facebook group is pretty active, and the system is pretty darn stable. There are a few things we think that the team should improve about Plutio, but today on Morning for Visionaries in February, what is it, February 18th, we're going to go over what's currently available, what we love, what we don't like, and what we think we would love to see improved. Now, note that by the time you watch this video, things will probably change. For example, forms are upcoming in the system, and people are really excited about that one, so we can kind of start automating our processes. So let's jump right into the system and see what's available. So let's switch to the desktop. And so if you're going to the website as is, not logged in or anything, I do recommend watching an intro video. It is one of those sales marketing videos, but it is worthwhile to go through because it is pretty darn useful and shows you what's available. But jumping in, I have here a testing account. The reason it's a testing account, I'm creating a course all about Plutio, so don't mind this being all dummy data, but things that you will see and are pretty freaking awesome. You have tasks, subtasks. This is, in this view, is your task dashboard. They are creating actual dashboards eventually, but here we have just a simple list. You can display it in a few different ways. A timeline view, I personally don't use that one, but list view, I love the list view. You have, and you can search, they have some pretty nice search and filter options you can group by, which I'll tell you what that means later. And you can see all your general tasks or create some stuff from here. You have projects. Projects contain your tasks and you can organize them in that way. And of course, just like previously, you can have a list view, my personal preference, card view, my wife's preference, and a timeline view. I don't use that one too much. Some people love it. And of course, you can filter. And of course, you have invoices, proposals, contracts, very related, though they do not have to be related. They can be completely separate, which is actually pretty darn freaking cool. So invoices, also a long requested feature a long time ago was to be able to split up invoices. So you can add payment options. I currently didn't add any into my testing account here, but you can add Stripe, PayPal, or direct pay through your bank. But once that's done, you can set up a one-time payment, multiple payments, recurring invoice, or recurring billing. The big difference is that one-time payment is a one-time payment. With multiple payments, you can split up an invoice to be paid multiple times. So 50% up front, 25. You can do some cool things like that, and you can set a date where the invoice is sent. But also really fun is recurring invoicing, where the invoice is sent automatically, but not billed, and recurring billing, where the invoice is sent and they are billed automatically. That was really requested, and people love this feature, and it's working pretty darn great for us. And you have a lot of options to set different various items. You can add tasks for that you're going to be doing or billing for, so on and so forth. And you can also add cover graphics, which, by the way, a quick little tip, you can add GIFs here. So you can have these be little animated icons and help improve the user experience. So that is pretty freaking cool. Now, in proposals, here you get the option to add pretty much any type of content that you like, though the little caveat is you can't add full HTML. You can style some things, but you are limited on the customizations there. But otherwise, you can add images, text. Like I said, this is my testing account, so I was kind of mucking about while creating the training videos. But you can add regular content, written content, out of all these little options: images, a table, video, some custom HTML, specific items, a summary, and SEO block, which I really don't know. That's a new one. I don't know what that one is for. But not important. The point is there are these options, and the options are improving, which is really awesome. And you can, of course, assign it to somebody, to a project, give it a due date, give it an expiration date. Very important when you're selling options. And you can auto-create a project or invoice. And just like before, oops, I clicked that too fast. Just like before, when you create an invoice, it can be one payment or multiple payments. Currently, the one thing I wish they would improve is that you could create a recurring invoice or recurring billing from here. Currently, you cannot do that. You can only create a single payment or a multiple payment invoice. So that's one thing I wish they would improve. But otherwise, this is working really awesome. All of our proposals are going through here, and we've hit a good stride in our business because of these proposals and contracts that are attached to here. And when somebody goes to pay, they can sign the contract with an actual digital signature, and pay all in one place, which is very freaking handy. And for your contracts, same idea. You can add content all through here, up, down, left, and right. It's pretty awesome. Now, in terms of managing people and who you can send things to, you can have a mini CRM. Yeah, that's the right word. In here, you can add people, you can add information about them, you can assign custom roles. In this demo user, I created a role called WordPress Junior Developer. I can add information about them, and I can see all the information, what they conversed about, the proposals they've sent. A junior developer wouldn't be sending proposals, but I can also see their timesheets. Now, speaking of timesheets and people, and by the way, before actually we get to that, you can invite somebody to Plutio. You can have unlimited clients, I believe, but teammates have slightly different user permissions, and those you might have to pay extra depending on your user account. So, little food for thought. Now, in terms of time tracking, let me show you that. They've updated this thing rather recently, and it is awesome and great because not only do we have a billing rate, we have a cost rate. And cost rate is awesome because we can say, hey, this item costs us, let's say we're paying somebody $30 an hour for this task, but we're billing at 125. So now we can track both, which is pretty freaking cool. And you have categories for what kind of things. For example, you could have different rates for development, design, consulting, driving, delivery, package, whatever, right? You can have different cost rates, which is really, really awesome, and different billing rates. Really awesome. The one thing I do not like, though, and I wish they would improve very, very soon, is while we have a cost view, we have a billing view, and we have the full view, I usually use the full view, this is great, but I do want them to improve this because currently if we do use categories for these things, so you can add a category. In this demo, I didn't set them up. But for example, like I said, you can have delivery, development, design, consulting, writing, whatever, right? For this time entry. It is not shown anywhere here. So I hope they improve that soon. And they probably will be because they are listening to people and customers and they are improving things rapidly. So hooray. Though that's one other thing I wish they improved. Now, so that's time tracking. It works very well. It is very accurate. And to do time tracking, you can add one from here. Or you can, when you're on a project or a task, let's just jump into one. Here's my little random task. I can simply start tracking here. And then when we end it, this shows up right now only because I didn't track it for more than a minute. So I'm just going to delete it. But then a little window pops up telling you kind of like what we saw previously is kind of like this, start time, end time, time tracked, and all these fun things. Now you also have the ability to have an inbox. So you don't have to use Slack, you don't have to use any other tools. You have communications built in. This demo account, there's only me because I really have to showcase this eventually, but this works pretty darn well. You have filter options. You can filter by person or by project or by conversation. And even more important for some people, you do have the ability to do public chat through this option. So awesome. Now, then we have the wiki. The wiki is one of my favorite parts because here's where we're adding our internal documentation. So we can, one feature I specifically requested is the ability to, because we can add, kind of like what we saw previously, we can add all this cool information. But previously, if somebody's looking at this internally, because our wiki is never going to be public, this is all our internal documentation, but I don't want people editing this thing and just looking through this content all the time is going to be kind of annoying. So I requested this feature, and now it looks nice and clean and simple, so somebody can just start reading through it. Publish is when you want to show it live somewhere or restrict that specific item. In the calendar, this is currently in progress, though, just so you know. This feature has been in there for a while, but because of Google's security protocol changes, they are going through a verification process right now. It's taking a while. Hooray for waiting for Google. So we just got to wait for that to be fixed. Yay. And so that's the quick Plutio overview. There are a lot of options. You have templates, you have custom fields. There's a template library, and it's growing all the time. Check them out. There's some really, really good stuff in there. But check out all the options. You have custom fields for tasks. You have time tracking options. So that the categories I was talking about. You have custom stuff for proposals, contracts, permissions, meaning user roles. There's a lot of good stuff here. And one of my personal favorites, we do have the ability, but they have an API, which I love. But I don't remember where it is in here. There we go. You can add white label. So instead of showing company name.plutio.com, you can have yourbusinessname.com or projects.yourname.com. So for us, for example, That's projects.secalifia.com. Hooray! Of course, I'm not going to show you what's actually in our proposals. Haha. Actually, you thought I was going to, didn't you? So there's all this awesome stuff here. Go check it out. I do think it's really awesome to check out. In terms of tasks, you're probably not going to be using your tasks through here. Most of your tasks are going to be managed through your actual projects. We can have a task board. Think of it as an oversized section. And then you have your task group, which are your columns, kind of like Trello, and your tasks. And a task can have subtasks, which is kind of cool. Tasks can also have a cover image, which is actually really neat. And subtasks can also have a cover image. So that helps you make these things graphical. And that's why I'm saying check out some of the templates, check out the Facebook group. This is definitely a viable project and business management tool. It has a lot of features that many other just project management tools don't have. And it is in active development. While it's not perfect, it does have some user experience bugs and some features that we are hoping are going to be in here soon. It is in active development. They are improving it constantly, and the support is pretty top-notch. So give it a try. It's well worth it. If you have any questions about Plutio or interested in the advanced course, hit me up on the Facebook group. I don't have a link to the course just yet in active development. But let us know in the comments, and once it's ready, we'll let you know. But if you have any questions about Plutio, let us know. Leave a note in the comments, and see you next time. Cheers.